Look closely at that perfectly uniform, vibrant green mound resting next to your sashimi. At 400 times magnification, the legal fiction becomes undeniable. You aren't looking at the delicate cellular matrix of a semi-aquatic plant cultivated in the pristine mountain streams of Japan. You are looking at a macroeconomic compromise. It is a masterclass in supply chain deception. That sudden, sinus-clearing burn you feel? It isn't the rare, fleeting compound of true wasabi. It is a precisely engineered payload. It is the brute force chemical impact of common European horseradish, weaponized with mustard seed extract and artificially bound with green and yellow synthetic dyes. The global food industry has trained your palate to accept a cheap botanical imposter as a luxury good. It happens millions of times a day in high-end culinary spaces and corner takeout spots alike. The chopsticks pinch the vivid green paste. It is swirled into soy sauce, dissolving into a murky broth. We lift the fish, we take the bite, and we wait for the rush. We expect the sharp, aggressive strike to the sinuses. It is a sensation the entire globe recognizes instantly, universally understood as the authentic taste of Japanese sushi. But this sensation is a carefully constructed phantom. Notice the texture under the harsh restaurant lighting. It is perfectly smooth, homogeneous, completely devoid of the fibrous imperfections that define living root tissue. A real plant, pulled from wet earth, bruised and breathing, does not yield a neon, clay-like consistency. What sits on that plate is biologically dead, engineered to sit on a warehouse shelf for months without losing its chemical edge. It is a product of logistics, not agriculture. So, where does that aggressive burn actually come from? Watch the heavy mechanized harvesting equipment tearing into massive dusty fields thousands of miles away from Japan. Thick, pale roots of common horseradish are violently ripped from the dry soil. These roots are brutally resilient. They are crushed, pulverized in immense stainless steel vats, and mixed with water and mustard oils to lock in that sharp, unyielding heat. It is a process of industrial extraction. Now look at the fragile reality of the genuine article. In stark contrast to the sterile factory floors, we see a freshly harvested, authentic Japanese wasabi rhizome resting in soft, natural sunlight. It is jagged, rough, and deeply imperfect. When a chef brings this root to a traditional sharkskin grater, a very different mechanical process begins. The microscopic sandpaper-like teeth do not crush. They shear the cellular walls apart with incredible precision. As the plant tissue tears, volatile organic compounds are instantly released into the open air. This creates a delicate, complex, and highly herbal heat. But there is a fatal flaw in this organic design. Within 15 minutes of hitting the air, the oxidation process destroys the flavor entirely. The heat vanishes, leaving behind nothing but a mild, sweet root. True wasabi is too fragile to survive the machinery of the global supply chain. To grow the real plant, you cannot use heavy machinery. Look closely at the crystal clear water rushing over the gravel beds of rural Shizuoka. Authentic wasabi demands perfect, continuous flows of highly oxygenated, cold mountain spring water. It takes up to 2 entire years of painstaking manual cultivation just to grow a single viable rhizome. It is incredibly susceptible to temperature shifts, disease, and the slightest environmental imbalance. It is agriculture balancing on a knife's edge. Now imagine trying to box and ship that fragility across the world. You see endless rows of steel shipping containers stacked high at commercial ports. The global food network demands absolute stability, indefinite shelf life, and rock-bottom agricultural costs. The slow, delicate cultivation of the Japanese mountains simply cannot feed the massive, relentless throughput of the worldwide sushi industry. The economics made authentic botanical scaling utterly impossible. The horseradish imposter conquered the globe because it was the only organism tough enough to survive the journey. Bring your focus back to the small ceramic dish sitting right in front of you. When you press your chopsticks into that vivid green mound, you are not connecting with a delicate, ancient mountain stream. You are directly engaging with a masterpiece of industrial logistics and flavor engineering. It is the end result of a massive, global system designed to bypass agricultural limits and deliver an immediate, cost-effective sensory strike directly to your table. But the ultimate trick wasn't just replacing the plant. The true triumph of this supply chain is how completely it has rewritten our own biological expectations. We have been conditioned to crave the sharp, unyielding, chemical punch of the factory floor, mistaking it for the delicate, fleeting whisper of the natural world. If presented with the real, transient essence of the ancient root today, most of the world would send it back, believing it to be a fake. We don't just eat the illusion, we demand it.